Good evening and welcome to Season Where the platform where we speak truth to power. This happened maybe a few hours ago. The French has actually got the ECOWAS countries to cut off aid and everything to Niger, who are after all only protecting the interest of the people of Niger, which is the mineral resources that France has been looting for over 40 years. Well, now the Niger leaders, the intellectual realignment leaders for the people of Niger that has got overwhelming support from the people, have done something very good. So let's read it to you. The revolutionary government of Niger has cut off electricity, water, and food deliveries to the French embassy in their country. This follows the decision of the French-controlled states bordering Niger to block food and medical aid into Niger. Again, you see, those countries who are bordering Niger, who are carrying out this aid, blockade, and everything else, they are only doing the bidding of the colonials, the French and the other colonials, who are oppressing Africans. And kudos to Niger for standing up to them. Kudos to Mali, kudos to Burkina Faso and Guinea for standing up to these colonials who have been looting African resources. Under the guise of democracy, they come and loot. Under the guise of democracy, they ensure that nothing is functioning in African countries so they can continue to loot. They create divisions, and that is why we must unite in Africa. So this is a very good news. You can see that they've cut off the power supply, cut off water, cut off food deliveries to the embassy. So if you're going to say do something, and they have asked the French to leave. Macron, that you see in the picture, is saying, no, we mustn't leave. And it's trying to say, oh, we are here to protect democracy. It's a lie. It's a lie. You've seen another video that I did where a French mayor said, France, in the interest of France, it is economic interest of France that they're fighting for, that they must stay in Africa. Not only in Niger, in other parts of Africa as well. So let us be very, very clear. When you are hearing this and you're thinking, oh, maybe and all of that, don't misunderstand it. They are trying to play a game. We mustn't allow that to happen any longer. Let me see if I can show you something. 1 second, please. As you can see in that picture, it's still from Global World. You can see that the people are in support of the French and of the Nigerian coup leaders, and because they know that the French must be kicked out. The French have been oppressing us in Africa. Not just the French, the Francophone and Anglophone colonials have been oppressing and continue to oppress and control Africa. Africa is not free. Africa is not free. Let us hear one or two words from some of the ladies here. This is by I think it's by Global News, but let's have a listen.
Je pense que notre politique est la bonne. Elle repose sur le courage du président Bazoum,
And there you have Macron trying to say, oh, we are here to promote democracy. No, they are here to protect their so-called interests. They put their interests, French interests, above that of the Nigerian people, which means that the Nigerians are effectively slaves in our own land, like we Nigerians are in our own land slaves. And it's time for Africans, we need to wake up. Africa is not free. The Francophone or the Anglophone, neither are free. So it's in our interest to collectively work together to free Africa from bondage. It is time we do so.
L'engagement de nos diplomates, de notre ambassadeur sur le terrain, qui reste malgré...
We will stay. Okay, let's see how you stay in the face of what we just said now. Let us see how you stay in the face of the water, the food, the cutoff of all of those things. Let's see how you stay. Let's see. The Nigerians want you out. And like we've said, the immigration policy of Europe is to keep Africans out. But now we're now understanding why Africans are actually trying to come into France, because France has taken wealth from 14 African countries remorselessly, forcing people to try and survive somewhere else. leave Africa be. When we tell you now that we need to leave out, move out of Africa, not just France alone, all of these colonials oppressing and suppressing Africans, they must leave African continent. They have to leave, but it requires all of us working collectively together. It's not one country at all. All of the African countries must come together and work a plan to make sure that Africans have free reign to go anywhere in Africa, and they restrict the movement of any of these colonials in Africa, because they are oppressing us and suppressing us in Africa. And we need to really be very, very clear about what their actions are. We cannot allow them to do this to us anymore. They have impoverished us long enough on our own land, looted from our resources, and they reduced the value of the currency they imposed on us, so they can take our resources at dead cheap prices. Let's carry on.
Malgré les pressions, malgré tout, et malgré toutes les déclarations d'autorité illégitimes, grâce à l'engagement de nos forces de sécurité intérieure et de nos militaires.
You have no legitimacy to be in Niger. You should leave. Now, you see that? That's the French there, and they're trying to trying to show a show of force, but nobody's buying that.
Engagés, il ne faut pas céder à un narratif utilisé par les putschistes qui consisterait à dire
France is creating a currency for 14 African countries that France doesn't use itself. They use the euro. Can you see the absurdity of that? Africans, it's time to wake up. This is not about just 14 African countries now. We need to ensure that there is unity in Africa, and we must have our own currency. We must. We cannot allow these people to continue to oppress or suppress us and take our resources. We're not doing anything. We don't want anything to do with Europe in terms of what they have in their land or don't have. All we want is for Africans to be allowed to benefit from their resources. We're not allowing. Africa must secure our own borders and ensure that the benefit from our resources comes to our people first and foremost. None of this stuff about praying. The prayers and everything else, they all know what's going on, but it's a distraction. We need to focus on the real issues now.
Est devenue la France. Le problème des Nigériens aujourd'hui sont des putschistes qui les mettent en danger.
Oh, there was no problem when the French were going around carving coups, killing Africans because they wouldn't do what they're saying. There was no problem when Sekou Touré said, no, we don't want you out. We don't want you in Guinea. And then Charles de Gaulle told them, okay, if you're going to leave, they destroyed all the infrastructures that was in place. Africans, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up.
Parce qu'ils abandonnent la lutte contre le terrorisme.
He keeps talking about terrorism. The real terrorists, we know who the real terrorists are. The people who are invading, who are coming under the guise of democracy to loot African resources. And those are the French.
Qu'ils abandonnent une politique qui était bonne économiquement pour eux et qui sont en train de perdre tous les financements internationaux qui étaient en train de permettre de sortir de la pauvreté.
What illusion international funding? You take African money. You take African money. This is Africans. We really need to wake up on this point. This is something here. Look at the support on the screen. Look at the support on the screen for the intellectual realignment taking place in Niger, in Mali, in Burkina Faso, and Guinea. Look at the support, and we must continue. This must go. This must encompass all African countries. We must ensure that this momentum continues in Africa, because Africa must be free. Africa is not free right now. Look at that. Look at the overwhelming support. Look at that. Look at that. See?
Le bilan est plus que satisfaisant.
Yeah.
Et on remercie le bon Dieu qui nous a permis de vivre ces instants-là. On a attendu, le peuple a souffert pendant
13 years. Exactly.
Le CNSP est venu libérer ce
safeguard of the homeland.
On les a accompagnés depuis le début jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Jour pour jour, ça fait 30 jours. On est tout à fait satisfait des actions qu'ils ont eues à.
Just see the support there. See the support. The French don't want you to see this. The Western world don't want you to see this. But you need to see this. And I want to ask us Africans, one of the things we need to start doing as Africans right now, please, Africans, platforms like myself, African Channel, all African platforms, that is where we must begin to get our news from. We need to begin to get our news from platforms like myself and others who are doing a lot of research and bringing it to you. And we can tell, we are focused on ensuring that we speak truth to power. As you know, Citizen is the platform where we speak truth to power. All we want to do is to bring the truth to you so that you can make an informed decision. All of these foreign bodies who are foreign corporations and news corporations, they are there to steer and to put the narrative of the colonials into your mind. You need to start listening to the news from Africans about what is really going on in Africa. If you're listening to the colonials, they are putting a spin on it to make them to justify their looting of African resources. So please, those of you watching us, if you're watching Citizen AY from any part of Africa, subscribe, share this, help us grow this platform. We need to be listening to our own news. Tuna Check Africa, and all of these ones, all of these things, we need to begin to do a lot of work collectively together. We must do so. Let's carry on. Look at the support for the intellectual realignment. The people want the French out, and the people's voices must be heard. Africans, we need this to go right across Africa, and we need to ensure that Africa, we're not saying for anybody to go into Europe or anywhere else. No, we just want African resources to begin to benefit Africans. We suffered long enough, and those of us who are abroad, we were forced to leave and come to Europe and other places because of the fact of the policies, the colonial policies of the likes of the French and the Anglophone countries and the UK and others and US, extracting our resources for nothing and then blaming us when we then turn up at the borders. Enough of this now. Africans, we must unite.
Des accords qu'ils ont eu à dénoncer et des décisions qu'ils ont eu à prendre, dont entre autres le départ illico fasto des Français et de l'ambassade
de France. Exactly.
Si on a demandé le départ de leur ambassadeur, ils sachent que c'est une décision de tous les Nigériens. Le CNSP aujourd'hui représente tous les Nigériens. Et si vous le constatez, le CNSP est appuyé et encouragé, si vous voulez, soutenu par tous les Nigériens. Donc, dans ce cas de figure, on n'est pas au XVIIIe siècle où il faut nous imposer ou nous dicter ce qu'il faut faire. Non, c'est notre indépendance qui est là. Et je crois que si le CNSP prend une décision, elle doit être respectée.
I want you to see that, just look at, soak in what is there. Look at the amount of people there. That is organic. That is organic. This is why I'm saying that if you are watching the news from the news of those colonizers, they're going to put the spin to make you believe, oh no, you have to support them. You need to support the people of Africa, and the best way you can support the people of Africa is start hearing your news from other areas. Platforms like myself, Tuna Cheki, and others, to really, broaden and ensure that we start telling our own stories to empower us to be able to collectively take the decision to free Africa from bondage, because Africa is not free right now. Africa is not free.
La France doit savoir que ce n'est plus vraiment l'ère coloniale. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes...
See, all of this now, that is what the French are trying to do. They want to say they're in control in Africa. No, Africa must be in control of Africa. French or the Europeans will not want Africans to control what is going on in Europe. So why should we Africans, when we say we want to go, we want you to leave Africa, you need to listen to us. Why should we continue to allow you to stay when you are oppressing us and taking our resources? The people of Niger have every right to tell the French to leave because they've seen the French loot their resources, loot their national wealth. They are totally justified and entitled to do so.
Nous sommes au XXIe siècle et la France doit apprendre à respecter nos idéaux si elle veut que les choses...
Let's respect our ideals. Exactly. You see? Yes. To stop if the troops don't leave in 10 days. Exactly. So they've given them 10 days. They've given them 10 days to leave.
Au premier rang desquels le président Macron. Nous sommes là pour l'appeler à la raison pendant qu'il est encore temps. Parce qu'au-delà du délai prescrit, est-ce que vous avez vu la jeunesse nigérienne qui est sortie? Ils n'ont rien encore vu. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, ce n'est que le départ. D'ici la fin du délai, nous allons leur donner un ultimatum. Et nous allons tenir notre jeunesse en alerte maximale. Qui fera que lorsque le délai sera épuisé, ici derrière, c'est nos terres. C'est des terres pour les Nigériens, ce n'est pas des terres pour la France. Nous allons rentrer dans la base, récupérer nos terres, chasser l'armée française. Ça, ce n'est pas discutable. Nous sommes déterminés. Nous sommes prêts pour la patrie. Nous sommes prêts à donner nos vies. La jeunesse nigérienne est mobilisée entièrement.
Donc notre politique est simple. On ne reconnaît pas les putschistes. On soutient un président.
We do not recognize coup leaders. It's none of your business what happens in Niger, for starters. None. You don't allow Africans to come and interfere in European issues. So why are you putting your nose in African issues? You've looted long enough. All of this stuff is a smokescreen. Any talk about democracy is a smokescreen.
Qui n'a pas démissionné.
It is smokescreen.
Nous restons engagés.
Macron,
et nous soutenons.
You are using democracy as a smokescreen. You are looting. France is looting African resources. France is looting African resources. And the people have said no. The people who you've been looting for are now saying no. Go. And you must go. You must go. You must go. Leave Africa alone. We've done enough damage. Not just you alone. All the colonials must leave Africa. But it requires effort from us as Africans. It's not just saying that alone. We need to take collective action. These people, they don't deserve to be in our midst if they are looting our resources. They don't.
L'action diplomatique, quand elle le décidera.
No, all of this talk now, you see, they try to, under the guise of democracy. It's all lies. We see your game. We see your game. You are only interested in the interest of looting, in taking our mineral resources from us for nothing and impoverishing us in our own land. And all African countries should stop using the CFA right now. They should stop it. Because the French don't use the CFA. They use it to devalue the worth of our resources. That's what they're using it for. It's a mechanism to loot from the people.
Militaire de la CEDEAO dans une approche de partenariat.
No, you see? So that's global partnership. I'm just going to put it back there. I just want you to see the support for the people support for the government. They're giving the French 10 days to leave, or they will storm the embassy. And that is what, we should support that. The French are there to exploit and loot the resources using military forces. There's a guy called something Platrea or something. And he's a mayor. He said they need to use military force to go into Africa. And they have, France needs to keep its interest in Africa. What about African interests? What about us? So we don't matter. And this is why I say to you that the world economic policies, when it comes to Africa, is racist. The world economic policies, IMF, World Bank, UN, they are all racist. And their policies towards Africa has been to exploit and oppress and suppress and impoverish Africans. As stated by Howard Nicholas, he said, we will not allow Africa to develop. We want Africa to be impoverished because they want our resources dirt cheap. That's the reality. Africans, wherever you are in Africa, around the world, it's time to wake up. Subscribe to Citizen NY. Help us grow this platform. I'm grateful to Global News. The clips I shared was by Global News. But I just want us to know we need to support the Nigerians, the Mali, the Burkina Faso and Guinea people. And we want this has got to go around. The remaining 10 countries who are forced to use CFA must also join in this struggle to pull away. In fact, the whole of ECOWAS, the whole of Africa need to wake up, including Nigeria. The next door neighbor with Nigerians. We mustn't go to war because the French are exploiting our resources. Not just the French alone. The entire Western world have been exploiting our resources. The US have been there since 1980. Nigeria has been using US dollar, and that US dollar has been sucking away the resources of our land. We need to wake up. We are facing the same threats. Africans, be it French or Anglophone speaking, we need to work together to push out the colonials from our continent. Enough of this injustice. It really is enough. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, please subscribe to Citizen NY, the platform where we speak truth to power. hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people. We need to really wake up. This injustice has gone on long enough. We should not accept any more injustice like this. It is time we work together. Like the man said in one of the broadcasts, this is not the 18th century. The people now, they know better, and they do not want to be oppressed and cheated out of what is theirs any longer. So my people, please, let us work together. Once again, please, if you're watching this from any part of Africa, you're watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power, help us grow this platform. Share this broadcast, help it reach more people. We fully support the people of Niger, and the people of Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea, because they are doing what every African should be doing. Pushing out and rejecting the lies of the colonials who have been exploiting their resources for nothing, looting their monetary wealth for nothing, looting it. We need to have our own independent African press to start telling our own stories. Tune in, join us, subscribe to Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us grow the platform, this platform, and reach more people. Because the information that we're giving you, as you all know, Citizen Network is a platform where we speak truth to power. Help us share, subscribe, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up. One more thing. So just to recap, just to really wrap everything up, Niger has cut off the electricity, water, food deliveries to the French embassy in their country because Macron seems to think when they're told to leave, no, they don't want to leave because they're French. How dare you tell us not to leave? Tell us to leave. No, we're in control. No, you're not. In Africa, Africans are in control, and we need to demonstrate that. The best we can achieve and maintain the control is to work together in unity. So we support fully what the Nigerians have done here and in cutting off the water supply to the French embassy, the food deliveries, so that they can understand that you're not going to we don't want you here. You need to leave. We don't. You've exploited and looted us long enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us grow the platform. Please share this broadcast as and when you get it. Help us reach more people right across Africa, not just in Nigeria. We urge all Africans to please join hands with us. Subscribe to Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. And please begin to tune in to listen to us for more news. We'll give you regular updates as well. And there'll be other platforms, other African platforms. We need to support ourselves as Africans. That is the only way we'll truly get the freedom. When we work in unity as Africans, in the media, on the media platforms such as mine, and also collectively as people, and encouraging our people to now our governments to ensure that they now protect our interests. The resources is ours, and we must first and foremost benefit from it. We need a free Africa where Africans can roam around, whereby Africans can trade among themselves like we used to do before the colonials came. Oh, no, you're French speaking, you can't, all that nonsense. We need to make Africa free for Africans, and Africans should not need visa to travel around Africa. The colonials or whoever else comes in, they're the ones who will need. Why are you doing? What do you want? That's what must happen. It is time we really open our eyes as Africans. So please subscribe to Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us grow this platform. Thank you for watching. I'll be back later on. Don't forget, subscribe, hit the notification button, and of course, give us the thumbs up. And one more thing, keep it locked on. Thank you, and bye for now.